Afternoon everybody, welcome back to another video. So I mentioned in my last colour along video, I think it was, that it was my birthday coming up on the 17th. And I've been sent some spectacular gifts, and least of all are the two that we're going to be using today. So my wonderful friend Kevin sent me the Faber-Castell 60 Pit pastel pencils. I just can't get over it. Obviously I've emailed him and thanked him, and we've had a conversation about it, and I don't know if you know, but one of the things I started my channel with was colouring with pastel pencils, and I love it. I have the Derwent set that I got second hand. Well, Kevin has sent me this set of gorgeousness. These are the 60 set of Pit pastel pencils by Faber-Castell, and honestly it says finest artist quality on the front, made in Germany, and you're not going to argue with that. Honestly, they come in a tin that flips up, and then the quality of them is instantly obvious. So you get our little Faber-Castell pamphlet that you get with most of their products, or all of their products, and then this is how they're laid out. I have rearranged them slightly because I've done it in order of my Ruby Charms Big Book of Colours, and I've swatched them ready to show you. But if I lift one up, instantly, you know, I'm terrified of touching them because they are so beautiful. They have a wooden smooth barrel. The name of the pencil is not on it, but you do have a dipped end, and you get the colour number. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Faber-Castell's colours all line up. So this, for example, 156 would line up with 156 on Polychromos, or the Faber-Castell Goldfarber pencils, or indeed their pastel blocks line up. So absolutely incredible. Let's compare it to, what have I got? I've got a Derwent, which most people will know. They're a lot thinner than the Derwent, but they've got that smooth silk. They feel like quality in your hand, they really do. And they smell gorgeous. So that's the Derwent pastel pencil there. And then here is a Prismacolor. So they are probably slightly thicker than a Prismacolor. Beautiful tips on them, really quality wood, just absolutely gorgeous. And I was just blown away that Kevin sent these for my birthday. I love working with pastel pencils. And then there's the other tray of absolute gorgeous deliciousness. They are spectacular, and we do have our skin tones in there, which I was really pleased to see. So I've ummed and ahed about what to colour with them, with you, just to sort of demonstrate how I use them. It's only how I use them. And then I'd got all these ideas in my head about what to do and how to do it. If I just move them, hang on, I'll just show you the colours first before we go on to that. So I did swatch them in Ruby Charms Big Book of Colour Charts. I love this book, use it all the time. And here are the colours. Now, and the names. So I've got the chart with the colours and their names in. Would you believe that these are pastel pencils? Look how pigmented they are. Absolutely incredible. So I can't wait to have a go with these. You'll know by now the colouring book that I've chosen, which was another gift, and it was from my lovely friend Bonnie F. I shan't say any more than that, but my lovely friend Bonnie F sent me the 50 Diminutive Countryside Scenes by Camilla Angelkova. And I don't know if you've probably seen that. It's so popular on YouTube. Lots and lots of people have it. And I'm planning to use all sorts of different things in it. Single-sided. The images are incredible. I love them. But what I like about it is, for demonstration purposes of these gorgeous pencils, is the images are big enough for us to do that together. So I chose, yes I know it's another B page, but I chose this one because I thought we could demonstrate smaller spaces, larger spaces. the little flowers and how I'm going to blend them. Now I probably will go over with fine detail either with paint pen or my polychromos to go over just to give more detail. And I do apologise for my hands, they've been bitten raw, and we are, I don't want to jinx it again, but we are going to see a new house, a new home this weekend. So I've got my fingers crossed. All we have to do is like it and they have to like ours. Make it sound simple, don't I? But so yeah, so I've been sorting out and my hands are just wrecked with anxiety and sorting things out. And so let's have a look. Let's have a go. Now, sharpening pencils. I know a lot of people will ask me about how do you sharpen them, and I rave on about this little pencil sharpener all the time. This is the M&R metal pencil sharpener. You can find it readily available on Amazon. If I can remember, I'll try and link it down below. And on it, it has the regular size hole for normal pencils, and then it has a wide one for larger pencils. But in fact, you get quite a tiny point with this. This is the only pencil sharpener I've found that I have been satisfied with how it sharpens pastels. And so you get a smaller point on it, a bit like how the pencils arrive, and it just does a perfect job. So that's what I'll be using, my little M&R metal sharpener. Really, really good. I also, in this unicorn pencil case that I got from the Works ages ago, have what I call tortillions, or they can also be called paper stumps or blending stumps. You'll find those readily available on Amazon too. I will try and link those down below as well, because I use those to blend the pastel into the paper. We might not need to focus too much on that. We'll see how they perform. So you can get all sorts of different ones. These are some Derwent ones. You don't need Derwent. Just some all sorts cheap blending stumps, all come in all different shapes and sizes. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to get a new one out for this very special occasion. So bear with me, folks. I'm going to cut the top of these off, and I am going to take out this one for the time being, the smallest one. Usually if you buy a set of them, a whole set of them, you will get this little sandpaper block. So all it is sandpaper on a bit of, basically stapled to a bit of wood. And where have I put it? Here. When you've coloured with it and you want to clean it off, change colour, you just gently rub it over and it will lift the colour off. Or sometimes you can just use a piece of kitchen towel and that will also do the same job. But they do kind of, like paper, they'll get loaded up with pastel, so occasionally scraping it on the sandpaper will lift that. You know, like when paper tooth just can't take any more, these get like that sometimes. So, oh, excuse me, folks. What I'm going to do for this video as well is, because I've been struggling to get the camera to focus properly on the pencil names and numbers. So what I'm going to do is, as we use them, I'm going to write the combinations down and leave them on the other page, and I will make sure that you get a proper shot of those as we go through. Helps in this book because it's single-sided, so I can leave it by the side of us. So I'm going to go off and get cleared up and get ready to go, so that we're not sitting here forever and a day with me trying to decide all the colours I want with a new set of pencils. So I will be back in a second with everything we need and we'll get colouring. Alright, my lovely friends, see you in a second. Okay, so I did a little bit of planning and a little bit of practice before I came on. It's been a long time since I've used pastel pencils and I want to get it right to show you. So I'm going to keep it as simple as possible in this book with them. I've got another book, the Charming book series, and I love using pastels in there. So this is how far I've got. So we're just going to keep it simple, and I'm going to show you how I did the roses leaves. One thing I would say to you is, if you're using pastels, because I'm right-handed, I would normally start on the left-hand corner and work my way down so I'm not spreading them out. but to do that in a video is going to be quite difficult. So we'll probably do these leaves and then I'll show you the roses next. So these are the colours that I've used. I'm going to leave them on screen. I hope you can see them properly, but it just saves me having to lift them up and saying what colours they are out. And also, if I've got people that aren't English speaking, hard of hearing or anything else, they can see. Right, we are going to take these two colours. So I'm taking my 172 Earth Green on these rose leaves, and I've kept it on the point that I've been given as they came. I think there's one pencil I've sharpened and that's it. And I'm just coating, I'll do it really lightly. You don't need to press, they are so soft and pigmented. They also, if you listen, if I shut up for 2 minutes, I hope you can pick that up, don't sound any more scratchy than like using a marker. They're so soft and beautiful. So then I'm going to take 172, sorry, that was 172 Earth Green. Now I'm taking 174 Chromium Green Opaque. And I'm going to put that around the edges. And you watch how these blend. Okay, got to bring it up a little bit where the leaf definition is, around the bottom. So if you're new to colouring and you want to practice colour blending, or just like want something easy to colour with, these are the way to go. They are expensive, but they colour in books like, I've used them in Hannah Carlson's books, I've used them in Clara Markova's books, I've used them on Amazon paper. They work well. The only thing that I would say is if it's super smooth paper, they don't work. They also work in Romantic Country, the second tale I've used them in. So I'm taking my little paper tortillon and really softly and gently, I'm going in with my light colour first. I'm just pushing that into the paper. Just softly. You're not pressing, you don't need to press down, otherwise you won't get any more layers or colours in. So then I'm just going back with my tortillon and gently pushing that dark green colour into our light colour. Just gently, because if you go hard and you go with the dark green over the top, it will just drown out the last colour you've put in, that lovely soft earth green. And then I'm going to give it a bit of a blow. There. So then what I did was matched the pencils up. So I've got the two polychromos here. So if you want any extra detail, like it's hard to get your tortillon into these, just checking I've got the right colours. It's hard to get your tortillon into those little spaces at the edge. So you can just come in with your, whatever pencil, Faber-Castell pencil you're using, it'll have the numbers on. Like the Goldfarber would work beautifully with these. I'm just going up into that edge and just bringing that colour out slightly, just so I've got that detail in there. Leaf, done. And I think it looks really effective. So because they're so pigmented, they don't look like you'd expect pastels to look like, if that makes any sense. They're not pale and insipid, they are really showing up. So you need very little detailing work on a page like this. So the other colours I've got are these two now. So I wanted a bit of brighter one for these kind of long curly leaves. And we are going to go in with earth green yellowish. I don't need to show you. I've got those around the wrong way. So we're going in with earth green yellowish. And let's do a nice one that shows up. Let's do this one. So I'm going to coat the leaf in earth green yellowish. Really lightly. Can you hear that? It's not scratchy, it just sounds like you're colouring with a marker. So I know that bothers some people. So I'm going to go in with that. And I'm going to choose this side of the leaf because it's leaning over as being a slightly darker. So I'm taking our permanent green olive and I'm just going to put that on the tip and then bring that round. So I'm just flicking it. Now, the wonderful thing about pastels is, and this is what gave me a lot of confidence at the beginning of colouring, is they erase if you mess up. So you might leave a little bit of pigment behind, but nothing that you can't fix and go over. So that gave me an awful lot of confidence when I was first starting to colour. Just gently blow that away. And then again, focusing on the light colour, just going to clean that dark colour off. I'm just literally just turning it really gently, and it will just take you back to your paper stump. Really, really gently blend those two together. So if you've got a colour family that match, like these greens, they blend effortlessly. They are round the wrong way, those two colours. I do apologise, so that's that way round. I will get better at doing this. It feels really awkward that I'm not holding them up to the camera, but I hope that you will find this easier to follow. So I feel like it needs to be a little bit darker, that I perhaps didn't put enough pastel on, so I'm going to go back in with my shaky hand. I'm just going to put a little bit more of the permanent green olive in, and then go back in with our paper stump or our tortillon and push that in together, and then blow. And then of course I've got my matching green pencil, which is permanent green olive. What I'll do, I think, is probably get a Goldfarber pencils, get those out too, just to show you while I'm demonstrating. And then I'm just going to put the finer detail in, like I might want some little flicks going up into that leaf so it's not so flat. And the other thing about them is there is no wax, of course. So I'm going to take the earth green yellowish and put some flicks coming down there. Just a bit of detailing. So you don't get any wax, there's no shine on the page, they're just matte. Absolutely stunning, and I hope you'll agree that for an Amazon print paper, that look how well they've worked. They've worked really well. I've got the Carbothellos, a really small set of the Carbothellos by Staedtler. I think they are Staedtler. I think so. They work equally as well, but these are like the cream of the cream. So I'm going to try and keep myself organised because I don't want my beautiful pencils laying all over my desk and dropping anywhere. I am going to go off and finish all our leaves. So all these long ones are going to be done with the earth green yellowish and the permanent green olive. The roses leaves are going to be chrome green opaque and green earth, these ones, and those little ones down there too. So I'm going to go and do those, and then we're going to come back and we're going to have a look at this beautiful rose, obviously, and the rest of the picture. Okay, I'll see you in a second, folks. Okay, folks, so I've finished all those leaves. I forgot these little ones down here, but I can go back to do them later. I want to use this combination. Now, I started the rose up here, and I'm not going to use the blending stumps or the tortillons for this. I'm just going to blow off any loose dust because they're such tiny spaces, but I want to show that you can still use your pastel pencils in smaller spaces, but you just have to be careful, like if you were to work it into the paper. Now if we just blow off the loose dust, the fixative will keep it on the page. So I am going to take a sheet of paper, because as you can probably see, I don't know if you can see, there's a little tiny fingerprint there, but it will erase. Let me show you. Gone. But I am going to take a scrap piece of paper and just cover up where my hand's going to go so I don't smudge all the work that I've done. Here's the colours that I'm going to be using. So 225 dark red, 226 alizarin crimson, and 132 beige red, or light flesh as it's known. So if we come in and focus on this little rose, and I move this over so you can see, there we go. I'm going to take the 225 dark red and move out whatever is under my book. Another pencil. Okay, so in the base of the leaf, basically on each leaf, I'm just going to move that up, I am putting the dark red. Just, again, very gently. You don't need to press hard with these pencils. So, and not too much. I just want that depth to give it that shading, that nice gradient. So it kind of will show that this one is underneath this top petal here. And then we're going in with alizarin crimson. Gosh, Kevin, this is such a good idea. We were chatting about ways of showing the colours, and with my scatty brain I can just look at the sheet and I know what colour I'm using, so that's so helpful. Yeah, now I've forgotten what I was saying. Anyway, so that was the alizarin crimson, and now I'm going in with beige red, which is also known as light flesh. I'm going to put that in. Can you see just how beautifully these blend? There is no effort, you just lightly touch the page. Okay, give that a blow. I'm going to come back in with our middle tone, just pull that down a little bit more. There we go. And then go back in with our dark red and just deepen that up. There. Now, I've got the dark red polychromos, which is the dark red one, and I'm just going to just tidy up that edge where I can't, where I want a crisper line, basically. There. There we go. Can you believe that this is done in pastels? I mean, nearly threw that pencil across the room. Can you believe that's done in pastel pencils? They're just so beautiful. Kevin, I am so grateful. I know I said in my last video that one of my colouring pleasures that I find really relaxing is, we'll do another one together, so dark red, is new pencils. Everybody loves new pencils, don't they? Trying them out. But I love swatching them. I like, yeah, the swatching them, and then coming on camera and colouring with them is a real pleasure. I love it. And Kevin took that on board and brought me these pencils. He's also brought me another set of very beautiful pencils, so we'll be playing with those too. And I can't thank you enough. It's just so wonderful to have this support and love. It really is. And to be able to bring new things to the channel. I have wanted these Pitt pencils, Pitt pastel pencils, for the longest time, because I just enjoy the ease of colouring with pastel pencils. And I know I've chosen a pretty simple page to colour with you with, but they do some really intricate pictures, and you can get that really fine detail. There, so I'm just not blending that in so that we keep that definition. So I'm just going to go back in with my dark red pencil and just deepen up in there. We will use a fixative at the end of the picture, and I'll show you that at the end. And that will stop all the pastel rubbing off. There. So I'll carry on because I want to chat to you for a little bit, if that's alright, if you don't mind. So I said about moving. We're in the UK, obviously, if you didn't know, and we live in a housing association house. We don't own it, so we rent it from a local authority. And we're very lucky. We have a big house, a big 3-bedroom house, and it's got a gorgeous garden, great big garden, but with my health conditions and the size of it, my husband works a very manual labour job, and you know, like I say, with my health conditions, I'm finding it really, really difficult to keep up with everything that needs doing. I keep a clean and tidy home, I'll tell you that, but when it comes to things like decorating and, you know, all those things, I just can't do it. So we were looking to downsize, and as you know, those of you that have followed me, we lost a beautiful little bungalow because we hesitated, and because it was in a village and we weren't sure about, with my anxieties, driving everywhere that you needed to go. There was no shop and things like that, you know. There was a little pub but no shop, and we lost out on that little bungalow, which we're gutted about, but it was our own fault. And then this lady contacted me from the website that we're using to swap homes, and said would I be interested in hers, which is the most adorable little 2-bedroom property, which is detached, which is very unusual, and would we be interested in hers. So it's absolutely gorgeous, folks. And where our garden, which is really long, faces the woods at the bottom, the woods to this house is at the side of it, so it's about 2 streets back from us, so still in the position and the location that we know and love. But smaller, much easier to maintain. It's got a lovely tidy little back garden, big enough to sit in, put a little shed in for your mower and things like that, you know, and we'll just be able to, it's a much more modern building, so we'll just be able to keep up with it. I'll still have my own little office, because it's 2 beds, so I'll still have my little sanctuary space. Hopefully I'll be able to give you a house tour should we get it. I know I'm jumping the gun, but it has to fit us, and it has to fit obviously the people that are moving in here or whatever. But because it's local authority, there's no solicitors or anything like that involved. It's just, we say we want it, they say they want ours, and our local housing authority draws up new tenancies and we swap. So we just move. So that could be done as quickly as 4 weeks' time. We're going to see it this weekend. I am so excited, people. So what a birthday present that would be, hey? And it was ironic because I was looking on the website and I said to my husband, that's the kind of home I want. Neat, tidy, modern, easy to maintain. And that evening she messaged and said, would we be interested? It was like, oh my goodness, is this meant to be? So I'm so excited. Anyway, enough waffle. I just wanted to show you in detail how I'm doing this little flower. There we go. So I will keep you updated, because I've got some amazing, beautiful birthday presents that have come, which I will share with you on my birthday. I know I've jumped ahead and used this book, but I couldn't wait. And Kevin's pencils. I've been very naughty. But I've got some amazing birthday presents that the most wonderful, kind, generous people have sent to me. And I will show you, hopefully I'll better record that on my birthday, because my birthday is, I believe it's next Tuesday, which is a short day at work for me. I finish at 11 o'clock in the morning. So I will be able to come home, film it and play with all the goodies that I've been waiting and itching to get my hands on. I just don't feel right using them before I've shared them with you. So, and I'm afraid, I know I'm naughty, but I couldn't wait for this video. It had to be done, folks. I'm sure Kevin won't mind that I'm using them early. I hope he doesn't. Apologies, Karen, if you do. Don't be offended. I'm just so excited. I'm like a little kid with new pencils. They fill me with joy. Okay, now this little centerpiece. So, I'm going to do darkness around here. I'm just ad-libbing. And then I'm going to bring my alizarin crimson here, up into that, and then our beige red. Let me know, is this easier for you guys? I know it's handwritten, but is this easier for you guys? It's actually easier for me doing it this way, and it was Kevin's suggestion. To make life easier, really, and I think it does. So let me know if you like it. If it's better than me trying to focus pencils at the camera. It's certainly quicker. There we go. One beautiful little pinkish red rose. Now, I would never, if somebody had put that in front of me without me knowing, I'm just going to take this little tortillon here, have thought that this was pastel pencils. They are so pigmented and beautiful. And just really gently, some of the places that just need a little helping hand in blending. So making sure that alizarin crimson is equally shared. Oh, I'm so excited, they're so beautiful. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to go off and finish the other three roses, and then we'll come back and do the other flowers together. I will see you in a second. Okay, the roses are done. I'm really pleased with how they've come out with just using that one polychromos just to really deepen up that colour. And you could have just used a pastel, I presume, but, you know, I wanted to show you that you can use your pencils over the top. Prisma's work over the top. I haven't found a pencil yet that doesn't, so I did a little practice down here with our little daffodils, and I want them really delicate because we're going to use, I don't know, I want them delicate anyway. So I've written the colours down as we've done for the rest of the video, and you're going to let me know what you think to that. Is that going to stay shut, or am I going to have to, I'm going to have to tear it, folks. Nice and neat and organised, but it won't lay flat because I've folded it over. So, sorry about that. Oh, it's trial and error, folks, till I get things right. Okay, so here's our little daff. Let's come in so you can see it a bit better. So I did do a little detailing with my coloured pencils, but not much. These are the colours that I've got, and we've also got, which I haven't written down because I am losing the plot, people. You've got a face full of cardigan. I'm doing well. We've also got white. Okay, where am I going to put this so that you can see? Maybe come out slightly. Sorry about all the experimenting. And put them here. Can you see them? Oh, I don't know. The list's too big. There we go. Okay, I'll leave it there because I can use my hand. So, I'm going to take our 113, which is our darkest. So 113, and I'm going to drop that in the centre of the flower at the bottom. So we get a nice bit of depth there. Then we're going to go in with the dark chrome yellow, just a little bit, just to give us a bit of transition. And then our beautiful light yellow glaze into the top of that. There we go. I'm going to go back in with that middle colour because I've knocked that back a little bit too far. Isn't that cool? Right, white. I'm going to put on the tips of the flowers, so this will stop that yellow becoming too dark. I want the edges of the flower delicate, so it will stop any of the yellow that we're about to use being too bright, is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to use the 104, just check, yeah, 104 light yellow glaze, and we are going to pop that in. It's quite a bright yellow, so I'm not going to come down as far as where I've put the white. I'm just going to pop that in. Once you've planned the colours, they are so quick to colour with. I'm loving them. I need to do a more detailed page using them, I think. Okay, now, where's my tortillon? Look, see, I was so organised, now I'm in such a pickle. What have I done with it? Sorry, folks. Okay, I'm going to take the clean side of it. I'm actually just going to... They come, sometimes they've just got a little, like, fluffy edge on them. So I'm just going to gently turn that around, get rid of it. It's a very annoying bit on there. There we go, it's gone. There we go. And then I am going to... We'll come in just a tad, now you've seen the colours. I'm going to push that yellow just gently into that white and leave the tip. Okay, then I'm going to take the the middle colour, the dark chrome yellow, and I'm just going to just gently just bring a little bit of shadow out there. The reason I'm using the pencil is because I don't want, they're so pigmented, I don't want it to be that bright. I just want a little bit of shadow. And because I'm just using such a tiny bit, I mean, you could use your pastel, but I don't want to obliterate all the colour that we've put in. Then I'm going in with the orange glaze, and I'm just going to put a little bit of a few little lines just coming out into that daff itself, that petal itself, just really lightly. So we've got this really delicate look. Okay, so if we come out and have a look, I am loving it. Now I'm thinking that we're going to use similar colours over here, so I will keep those pencils out, but I might just deepen them up, because they could be marigolds, couldn't they? They could. I could be forgiven for thinking they're marigolds, even if I'm a bit thick. Just take them. So I'm going to go off and finish our daffodils. Exactly the way I've just shown you. Then we're going to come back and I don't know what we'll do, but we'll do the next part. See you in a second. Okay, daffodils are finished, and rather than keep going on and off, I practiced each bit of the picture that we've got left to do. So I've got the colours ready for you. So I thought we'd have a look at the marigold first. So here are the colours for the marigolds. I've put question mark, question mark. I did look them up. I think I could be forgiven for thinking they're marigolds. So let's come in and have a look. So this is how I went to touch the screen then. This is how I did this one. So I took burnt ochre, 187, and just dropped a little bit on the edges. Like that. Can you let me know in the comments? Are you going to try some pastel pencils? Do you have the pastel pencils? What do you think to them? I know a lot of people say they're put off because they sound scratchy, but to me they don't sound any different to using a marker pencil in your marker pen in your book. Okay, we're going in with a dark chrome yellow, and I'm going to bring this up into some of these areas, leaving a little space for our light yellow glaze. So I'm going to push this in. I want space left for our yellow. There we go. And then we're going to put in our light yellow glaze. Okay, in the centre we're going to take the burnt ochre, put that at the bottom. Oh, wrong one, never mind. It's getting late, folks. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just loving playing with these pencils. Dark chrome yellow, and put that in. And then we can go back in if we need to. So dark chrome yellow, just so that shows up. That's turned out better, this one, than the practice one I did. I think I put too much of the burnt ochre on that one. I could erase it. There we go. One marigold. So I'm going to put those colours. I don't like having these out on my on my desk because I'm so clumsy. And they're so precious, they're so beautiful. Okay, right, I'm going to have a look at these. I can't think what they're called, these little plants. But we've got three colours here. We've got Manganese Violet, Violet and Light Ultramarine. So, I'm going to go in with our Manganese Violet, which is our darkest. And can you see where the little dots are? I think I might put some paint pen dots in those. Yeah, so where the little dots are, we're going to go in with the dark Manganese Violet. And I'm just doing like little circles. You'll lose this detail when you blend it out, but so I'm putting that up the edge. Okay, then I'm going to take the violet. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to like randomly drop that in too, so that when we put the blue in, it's not uniform. Okay, blue, Lucy, not brown. And then the light ultramarine, and drop that in. You can bring that down because it kind of changes that purple look. And they blend together. I'll just drop some of that in, just so we've got that sort of random look. Let's do another one of those together. Okay, so Manganese Violet. I'm going to find where the dots are. So that's going to be where I'm putting the darkest of our colour. And around here. And don't forget, all this is really light. I'm hardly using any pressure on the pencil. Then our violet. Yeah. I hope that I can be forgiven for getting out my pencils and playing on this beautiful book before my birthday. It has given me a real boost, folks. So I'm just mixing those colours in, put a bit of blue over it. It just changes up those colours and gives us that sort of multi-tonal look, which I really like. Okay, so that's those. Then we've got these little blue flowers down here, and I've tried to keep them just really simple. Here are those colours. I will just fold up my piece of paper so you can see. We'll put those there. So we've got Helio Blue Reddish, Light Ultramarine, which we've just used, and then the white, just to tone down that blue. So Helio Blue Reddish, I'm going to sharpen this actually, then I can show you. Where is my sharpener? Okay, I'm not going to sharpen it. I don't know what I've done with it. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm going to drop a little bit of that Helio Blue Reddish in. Not too much. On the tips and in the centre. Okay, then what I'm going to do is take the white and I'm going to drop that in. This again will stop that blue being too bright. Keep it toned down a little bit. And then we're going in with the light ultramarine. Okay. They're coming out better on camera than they were with my practice. So I like that much better. There we go. I like that one much better, so I might erase that one. Let's erase that one so I can show you how they erase. Just move the little bit of eraser I've got left. Right, oh, no, you'll have to bear with me while I put a new one in. Put a new eraser in. There we go. Should have known not to try and be economic, people. Right. So I can leave the dark edges. Well, let's just get rid of the whole thing. There we go. I'm going to give it a little brush off, just gently get rid of all that dust, because as you can see I've smudged it because they're not fixed. It's okay. And let's do that again. I do have the corresponding pencil just to get right up in that corner. And there's little tips of the flowers. I'll erase that properly when I've finished. Okay, so in with our Helio Blue Reddish, and we're just going to do the tip there. We're going to bring in the white. There we go, bit of white, and then our light ultramarine. I'm just going to push a bit of that in. And then we'll put our dark centre in. There we go, we'll darken this up a little bit more. When I go off camera I will find my little pencil sharpener. That's the only thing with it, is because it's tiny and I get swamped on my desk when I'm doing colour with minis. I can't find anything. Is it there? Nope. Okay, so I'm quite pleased with that. Might help the blend here a little better. There we go. So our little blue flowers, and we've got our, I don't know what these are called, somebody will tell me kindly. A sip of coffee time. Then we're going to have a look at our beehives. And I do have a little bumblebee stamp, if anybody remembers that I was gifted. I might stick a couple of little stamps on here, I don't know. Okay, so I'm just gently getting rid of that eraser. There we go. So this is our beehives. Excuse my scribbling outs. Alright, let's put it like that. Okay. So we're going to take burnt sienna, which is our darkest, and I'm going to run that right the way along the bottom of that, of the this ring of the hive. Like that. Then our next colour, which is sanguine, we'll put that in, and I'm going to start to bring this in from the edges now. Go straight over that, excuse that little hiccup, straight over that burnt sienna at the bottom. Then our terracotta. Gosh, I hope that was in shot. We can do another one. Terracotta, which will help all those blend. Make sure we've got enough of that. And then the beautiful Naples yellow. Really gorgeous colour. I'm going to push that in. So if I can't have honey, I can do cartoon style beehives. Then I'm going to take my little tortillon and from light to dark blend those colours in. I'm going to take, in this instance, just a scrap piece of paper, and I'm just scribbling on it. Get rid of that, just to get rid of the dark, and we'll do the same this side. Again, I'm pressing really lightly because if you want to go back in, you don't want to squash that tooth of the paper. Any harsh lines you can just blend out really easily. There we go. And I don't think I had any pencils for that one because I kind of liked the way it looked. So we'll just do that again quickly, and then I can go off and I'll catch up with finishing off these bits. So let's make sure you can see. Yeah, burnt sienna. Burnt sienna, sanguine, let me just make sure I've got the right colour, yeah, sanguine, which I'm going to start to bring it out here, there we go, then our terracotta. Bring that in. And then the Naples yellow. So we've got that nice highlight in the centre of our beehive. I think it looks really cute. And let's not forget this is, you know, it's cartoon. So we can have it however we please. Okay. So from light into the dark, give that a blow. I'm just going to clean it off on my page, my scrap page, and then light into dark this side. There. I really like that. I think it looks really cute. So let's come out and have a look at where we've got to. So we've got all our flowers ready to go and our beehives. I'm going to do all 3 of those beehives exactly the same, and then we'll meet back up again and we'll take it from there. We've got a couple of little rocks to do down here. There are some greys in this set. There are a couple of cold greys actually that will be really nice to use, and we'll meet back up in a minute. Alright folks. Okay my lovely friends, this is how far we've got. We've got a couple more things to do. So I wanted the beehives on these wooden bases, and then we've got the rocks. We've got our little Buzzy Bees, and I'm just going to put some soft clouds in the background. So let me get the browns that I used, and we'll do this one at the front. That'll be easier for you to see. So here are my browns. There we go. Move that down so you can see. So I've got the very dark Van Dyke brown, beautiful. So we are going to shadow the edges of the table with the Van Dyke brown, a little bit underneath the rim. I did put a shadow underneath that one, but there's not enough space really, otherwise it'll just all be brown. All be dark brown rather. Can you see that? Okay. Then we're going to use a little bit of raw umber, 180. Just bring that in. It's just a nice transitional colour. Just a little bit. And then we're going to use brown ochre. We're going to put that in. Nice and easy. There we go. And I'm going back over those dark colours. Blend them all in. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit underneath the table. So going back to our Van Dyke brown. I really hope you like this idea, because I find it so much easier than struggling with trying to show you the pencils. And then they're there while I'm using them as well. Raw umber. Bring down this side. And brown ochre. So I can't take credit for it. It was Kevin's idea. And I have to say, it's so much more enjoyable than struggling to show pencil numbers and names. There we go. Right, then we're going to take our tortillon. I'm just going to make sure it's clean. And again, from light into dark, just push that colour into the paper. And the same here. From light into dark. Let's smush those colours in and give it a blow. There we are. So that's how I'm going to do the little tables. And then we've got 2 little rocks down here. 2 teeny little rocks. So we're going to use the cold greys for our rocks. I'm going to get the cleaner tortillon, just so I don't mix inks. We've got a very soft grey coming in here. So we're going to use, oops, not that one. We're going to use the Cold Grey 4, 233. I'm going to put that around that edge of this one because it's behind. Bring it out, sort of uneven. Follow that dark line, we'll cover that up. Then go in with our Cold Grey 1. Cross those over so that they blend in. go back and fill any little spaces in. There we go. Deepen that up a little bit more. Oh, I've blown it away. Okay, and then the same round this edge. And then our cold grey one. There we go, 2 little rocks. I might go in with the pencil if I need to, just to get into those edges, but I don't think I will. Okay, 2 little rocks. Oh gosh, I hope that was in shot. I'm so sorry if it wasn't. I've made a mess of myself, look. I've made a mess. Okay, let's do... Let me just do that table quickly, so then we're finishing the page together. It won't take 2 seconds. So, dark brown, a little bit under there. Bring that down under here. There we go. Our next brown down for a bit of transition. Now, are you in shot? Lucy, pay attention. There we go. I'm sorry about that. I hope I wasn't. You could see. Okay. And then our lightest colour. Smush those. Smush those in. Carefully go in there. And then we'll take our tortillon. And just give that a quick blend. Alright folks, there we are. Now, we've got little Buzzy Bees, which I'm just going to do very, very simply. So I have got the Pentel Dual Metallic Hybrid here, and it is, it says Metallic Yellow Orange. So I'm going to fold this sheet of paper over and just put it over here. And then I'm just going to, can you see? I'm not sure that you need to see me colouring in with a gel pen, but I'm just going to give him alternate orange stripes on each little Buzzy Bee, like this. I like to finish the page with you. Feels nice when we've put a video together, when we've done a colouring together, to finish it together, if you're still with me. There we go. There's that. And then I've got just a plain black matte jelly roll, which is a size 06. Handy for teeny tiny spaces like this. And I'm going to do a little body in black. Just fill those little spaces in. There we are. We have to have sparkle, people. It's not going to be the same, is it, if it hasn't got a little bit of glitter on it. Haven't decided where to put stickles yet, but it's got to have a little bit of stickles. Okay. My hand's in the way, although like I say, you don't need to see me colouring in with a gel pen. There we go. 5 little Buzzy Bees. And then I've got the Jelly Roll Moonlight 06, and this is, I don't know if it's got a colour on it, it's just the palest blue in the set and it's so pretty. So just Jelly Roll Moonlight, and I am going to take that and I'm just going to go round those little wings, just so there's a hint of blue on them. It's a really pretty blue. And then I will sticklise the wings. Okay, so we've just got a nice little hint of blue going on. There we go. Last 2. And then, as long as that's dry, we can do the background, which I'm going to use my cheap gel crayon sticks. And like I said, I'm desperate. I'm going to try and get hold of them King Art ones because I love using the gel sticks. And then we've got some different textures going on the page, as well as just the pastel. There we go. 5 teeny tiny little Buzzy Bees. Right, now I have to wait and let those dry. So I'll show you this set. We'll come out just slightly for a second while they're drying. Let's put the page there. So this is the set that I use at the moment. 36 colours. They're really good actually, very pigmented, and they work really well. They come in this handy little briefcase and you get lots of colours. So I've just selected they don't have names. I've just selected the palest of the blue, and here I've got my, this is a die for cutting out cloud shapes with a die cut machine, but there's a very clever trick. I use this a lot, all the time, and I will try and link it down below. I don't really want to go out of the image. So I'm just going to place my, let's use the finer bits of cloud here. I just need to make sure that that's dry. Yeah. Okay. So where should we put it? So I'm just going to play. Alright, let's just smudge the balloon. In fact, what I'll do is fix the pastel first. I should have done that before. So if you're happy with your picture and you've erased any smudgy bits like me down here, or I've put my hand in stuff, I'll have to go out of the room and do it. I have got the Frisk Pastel Fixative. This is a workable fixative, CFC free and eco-friendly, and so you can work over the top of it. But it stinks to high heaven, so you need a ventilated area. So if you'll give me 2 minutes, I'll spray it, let it dry, and then we'll come back and do our little cloud background. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, well, you're a bit crooked, aren't you? Let me straighten you up. There. So we're dry, and the pastels do not rub off now. So we haven't done the little stems of the flowers. Just suddenly realised. So I'm going to just do it with the Polychromos quick, and I am going to use Permanent Green Olive, and I'm going to use Earth Green. So if I bring you in, we'll just do this quickly together. So I'm going to take the Permanent Green Olive, and I'm just going to run down one side of the plant. I could do this with my pastels, of course, but just to save us time, because the video's getting on now. And you can't see because I'm silly. Okay, down here. I think we'll probably be just over an hour, so it shouldn't be too bad. About usual for me, for my videos. And then the, what did I say this was? Earth green. So earth green. There we go. And we will just fill that in. There we go. A little bit of variation, but not too different. There we go. Oh, Lucy, you're zoomed in. Wakey, wakey. There we go. Alright. Now, I'm going to come out slightly and we're going to do these little clouds together. So, I've got my die cut that I've shown you. And I'm going to place it... Yeah, why not? Let's do it like that. So we get a good cloud shape. I've got my gel stick. And I've got these little makeup brushes that I use. They're really good. They wash out as well. So what I do is just rub the gel crayon over the tip of the brush. And then I'm just going to put the lid on because you know what I'm like. I'm going to take a scrap piece of paper here. And I'm just going to make sure that it's not too pigmented. Which that's fine. I'm going to hold the die down. I will, like I say, try and list this down below. And then I'm going on the die and then just in circular motions bringing that colour up. So I'm going to avoid our Buzzy Bees but come up a bit higher. I might need a bit more pigment. We'll see. I don't want it too... Just making sure I get all that colour in. Okay, let's just put a little bit more pigment on my brush. Put the die back where it was. There we go. And go back in because I didn't really have enough colour. There we go. And then this little brush just was in a set, and I'll try and find it, or I'll link the brushes at least down below. And you get all sorts of sizes, so this was just a tiny one, which is quite handy for just circular shapes. And then you get a little cloud. That's so cool, isn't it? Okay, I've used these, I've had this die for ages and I just love using it. It's really effective but so simple. Let's put this one in because it's a little image. We'll put that one in. And we just push that gel crayon around. Making sure we've got it. We've gone over the edge of our die so we get the shape. There we go. We could put some in here. Like that. I'm trying to get the smaller shapes for this edging, or these bits. There we go. Bit of blue. You can mix up different colours. We'll just have a bit of blue in there. You could, mix up different, have some different colour. We'll just put a bit of subtle blue in there. And there we are. We could have a tiny little one going up here. Yeah, let's have a little one going up here. Let's make sure I've got enough colour on my brush. And you can see, and off we go. And then you can just let it fade off. Move my finger so I can get into there. I use these with inks. They work really well with inks and chalk. There. Okay. Right. We need a bit of stickerization. So I've got my usual precious diamond stickles. I love it. So we're going to stickleize the little bee's wings. They deserve to be glittery and glamorous. all that hard work they're doing for us. Okay, where else can I put it? Don't need too much. But it's such a lovely fun picture, and I've had so much fun doing it and using the pencils, they're amazing. There we go. And maybe it comes up really pretty on the dark, so let's do a little bit of in the centre of these little violet-y type flowers. There we go. And maybe just as even the page out, and because I like playing with stickles, we'll put it in the centre of those two. There we go. Alright, I think that's enough stickerisation on this image. Let's come right out. There we go. So, I don't know if you can see it, it's very difficult to pick up on stickles until they're dry, and then they're just amazing. Pick up that dual metallic pen. So, there we are. 50 Diminutive Countryside Scenes. What an amazing book. I'm looking at getting the mandala ones, the spring, summer, autumn, winter ones. They look beautiful, by is it Camilla? Yeah, I always get it round the wrong way. Camilla Angelkova. Kevin, thank you so much. Bonnie, thank you so much. I am always very grateful and blown away, and my heartfelt thanks goes to both of you for your beautiful gifts. It's just mind-blowing that I'm thought of that highly for a hobby that I love just to share with you. So thank you, Kevin, thank you, Bonnie, it means the world to me. So if you stuck with me through my incessant ramblings and tutoring, my idea of tutoring, I hope you've enjoyed it, because I've had a whale of a time. I really loved it, and maybe if you're interested we could look at doing, you know, a more intricate picture such as skin or hair or something like that with the pastel pencils too. So I'll let you go for now. It's now the 12th, but it's about to be the 13th, and I will be back very shortly with some of the amazing gifts that I've been sent by such beautiful people to share with you. And also Kevin sent me another set of pencils, so we're going to use those to do something, a colour with me as well. So thank you so much for watching and sticking with me. So until we meet again next time, take really good care of yourselves, my friends. Night night.